On this little island that was kind of dry. It was a little tiny. Really wasn't the best for camping, but they still allowed camping on that at that time. But it was so dry, I decided not to set a fire. When I got back, I found out there was already a fire ban in place, but I did not know that. And one of the things I do is that I always put little nut treats on my pack for all the little beings. And I always say a prayer over my food and ask that it stays safe, and that the nuts that I put out here are for the little mice and the little creatures to eat, and to ask them to stay away and stay out of my pack. And ever since I've been doing that, it has worked. When I didn't do it, they would go in and eat my pack. Eat through the little plastic bags and the nylon and get to the food. But when I'm leaving it out there, they would take it and leave my pack alone. Well, I did that. The next morning when I went to pick up my pack, the little nuts were all gone. I grabbed the pack and I was walking back over the hill and down to my campsite, and out of the corner of my eye I see some movement. And I stop and I turn toward it, and it's like 4 little mice running over to me, and they run around my feet and they jump up and down and squeal. And I swear they said, "Thank you, thank you, thank you for the treats, thank you very much." And then they ran away. And I went, okay, well, they get all the nuts now. So before I left emptied out the whole bag for them. And that was a magical moment. All of those were magical moments. And that's what we have happen as we walk in that spiritual path. That is the Divine Mother responding to us. Earth is our mother. And when we step out onto a path, we must trust that there is footing for us. And we must allow ourselves to feel that support. It's when we feel that we won't have support that we step out hesitantly and things get in our way. Now, I do want to finish with telling briefly about my cancer journey, because it was, of course, I believed that I would never have that experience because I was a vegetarian, that I had been eating well for a long, long period of my life, I thought, and that I was pretty well at being able to sense and understand what was going on in my body. But it didn't happen that way. I went through a very tough year in 2011, last year. I had money problems, relationship problems. I became sleep deprived. I felt extremely ashamed of myself for not being able to cope and understand how to deal with everything. And so July is when I became, where I went in and went to the medical doctors and asked for help, and they gave me some medications. I went on 3 medications, anxiety medicine, sleep medicine, and antidepressant medicine. I was able to wean my way off of the anti-anxiety medicine just as I heard about my diagnosis of cancer. Now, the good news is that that cancer would not have been diagnosed, and it was breast cancer, had it not been that I had to go to the medical doctor and then had a regular checkup, and she found it. All right? So the cancer actually became my recall to life. Because, and it's interesting because as I was telling somebody about this experience, that I let off of the anti-anxiety medicine just in time so that my visions and images that are part of my inner communication with myself resurfaced. And I had told my medical doctor on a checkup is that I'm not able to dream, I can't see vision, and this is concerning me. And she said, "Oh, well, you know." And I went, "Ooh, that doesn't feel good." So I backed off the medication intuitively, and then the dreams came back, and my visions came back. And it was through those, my experiences of 8th grade, being opposed to intrusive surgery, to research. Another experience which I didn't share, when I actually saw myself I was seriously injured and needed to use my own inner mind to send blood down to my foot and back up in order to heal my dislocated knee. Another time when I went in and got diagnosed with having cartilage tears in my knee, and when I hung up from the phone, I heard myself say, "Thank you, you gave me the information I needed to know to heal myself." And so when I got to hear this diagnosis that I have cancer, I went inside and listened to all of the stories, and it said, "Cheryl, you're a healer. You use your hands and your wisdom and your heart and your connection with the divine being to help others. So why not learn to do that for yourself?" So I haven't had surgery. I am going through a lot of different things, rechanging my diet, getting some nutritional support, finding out who can be with me and not be afraid of the choices I've made. Because I can tell you, people become very afraid for you when they hear that you aren't using traditional methods. There are other people who try to convince you that that is the only way. Now, I'm not sure what the way is, to be honest. I'm still on that path, walking it, and I'm going to continue that path and find out where it leads me, because I know it's the right path. So today, my encouragement is that you find your path in your stories and in your experiences, because they're all there, because your intuition is that connection to the divine path and the divine direction and the divine way of being. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Cheryl. Now it's time for our offering. And will our ushers come forward? As you know, Lake Harriet Spiritual Community, a Center for Conscious Living, is an independent organization. We're not backed by the Pope or any other organization. So we keep the doors open, and we have wonderful offerings based on the donations we get in Sunday services and when people attend classes and services. So please dig deep, and thank you.
When I was a boy, each week on Sunday we would go to church and pay attention to the priest. He would read the holy word and consecrate the holy bread, and everyone would kneel and bow. Today the only difference is everything is holy now. Everything is holy now.